welcome to this heart-opening yoga practice. Today's practice is inspired by Venus's retrograde journey from Aries currently into Pisces over the course of this month. It's currently March 2025. If you're practicing this at any other time, please just enjoy the heart-opening benefits of the practice. We're going to begin in a lying down position. So coming down onto your back. Hands by the sides, palms facing up or down, whichever you prefer. Walk the feet close to the hips, and we're going to begin with some pelvic tilts. So slowly tilting the pelvis forwards and back. As you press the lower spine back down, you might choose to exhale, and then as you tilt the pelvis forwards, arching the spine, inhaling. So working with your breath, breathing through the nose, allowing the breath to dictate the length of the movement. And eventually you might begin to peel from the mat, coming up and down, pelvic tilt. So we're taking this mobilization practice now through the mid-back, up to the area of the chest. And as you lift, think of opening at your heart center, and as you press down, press the back of the heart center into the mat. And our heart chakra, Anahata Chakra, is positioned both forwards and back on the body. All the chakras are positioned forwards and back. And they're openings or vortices or wheels of energy. And our heart chakra is linked to love, connection, and Venus being the planet of love. And retrograde being a time to maybe look back and reflect. So as you lift the spine, opening the chest, as you round back, maybe it's time for reflection, thinking back, and deciding what it is you want to carry forwards. And touching back down, hugging the knees into the chest, taking a gentle rock from side to side, and we come into spine twist. Opening the arms wide, palms facing up, and you're welcome to have the toes down if you prefer a little bit more support for the core muscles and the lower back. Otherwise, lowering the knees to the right, coming into twist. And feeling the breath as you inhale, particularly through the left side of the chest, feeling the left side of the ribcage expand. Maybe transferring that expansion over to the right. And release and let go. Feel the back of the heart center press into the mat. And you might choose to lengthen the left arm up if you have space. Feeling a stretch down the left side of the body, keeping the shoulder blades down. And exhaling, bringing the left hand back down to the side. Inhale, bring the knees to center. The option to have the toes down if you prefer. Take the knees over to the opposite side, over to the left. Keeping the shoulder blades down, you're welcome to have props under the knees or in between the knees if that's more comfortable and helps you to keep the shoulder blades down. Breathing into the right side of the rib cage in particular, and feeling that air transfer across to the left. And as you exhale, a firm press of the back of the heart chakra into the floor beneath you. The option to lengthen the right arm up overhead, stretching down the right side. And bringing the hand back down as you exhale, inhale, coming into center. Hug the knees in one more time. And then press the left foot down. Lift the right leg up. Again, arms come wide. You're welcome to have the palms down if that helps you feel a little bit more stable, or palms up. As you exhale, bring the right leg over to the left into a bit of a twist. The left leg could be long or bent. Inhale to center and exhale, open the hip. Coming into center as you inhale, exhale to twist. The hip peels off the mat. Inhale to center. Exhale, open the hip. Pelvis stays neutral. And continue with this pattern. When you open the hip, keeping the left hip bone pointing up, the left hip pressing down. time you come into centre, as you exhale, lower the right leg, and inhale, lift the left, and repeat the same on the left side. So exhaling, crossing over, coming into the twist. Inhale to centre and exhale to open the hip, keeping the right knee pointing upwards, even if it's lengthened along the mat, so the hip stays in neutral. When you twist, the bottom and waist peel from the mat. Spine stays in neutral as you open the hip. Once more. Inhaling into centre, and as you exhale, bring both knees into the chest, rocking from side to side. And we're going to come up into boat pose. So if it's okay for your spine, you might choose to roll backwards and forwards. If you have any issues with your spine, come to your side and roll up. So however you choose to get there, come up to boat, and then come sideways on slightly. Lots of options here. You could have the toes down, hands under the thighs. You could have the lower legs parallel to the floor. You could lengthen the legs. You could have the hands beside the legs. Wherever you are, lift the chest. Inhale, feel the chest expand. Exhale, engage the lower abdominal muscles. Feel strong through your core. And repeat. Inhale to open the chest. Feel expansive. Exhale, core muscles engage. Or engage more firmly than they were before. They remain engaged throughout boat pose. Grow tall on your inhale. As you exhale, cross the legs, coming down into cross-legged, and then however you get there, come up to downward facing dog. And when you're up in down dog, pressing the heels back one at a time, walking out the dog. And mobilizing here, so you're bending through one ankle, then the other, one knee, then the other. Maybe a sway of the hips from side to side. You might choose to look under one shoulder and then the other. Keeping the back of the neck long, head relaxed. Then come to stillness and either stepping 1 foot forwards, coming to a goddess pose, or both legs forwards, coming into a wide stance. So you're working with the space that you have, coming up into goddess. Check that the angle of your thighs is the same as the angle of your feet. Core muscles strong, again, just as we did in boat. Have a neutral spine. Arms in cactus, peeling the index finger down and sealing down with the thumb. Gives you Vayu Mudra or Air Mudra. And air is the element corresponding to the heart center, Anahata Chakra. As you inhale, open the chest, draw the elbows back, and as you exhale, round, bring the forearms towards each other. Repeat. A cat-cow type spine, but with the mid back. So the belly button and below stays neutral. And the movement of the spine is the rib cage area, the thoracic spine. The next time that you inhale, lengthen the arms, lengthen the legs. Pivot on the heels, so the heels are wide, the toes more narrow. As you exhale, come into forward fold. And we're going to be here for a while, so you're welcome to do a range of different options. You might choose to have a bolster and prop your forehead on the bolster. If you're quite flexible, you might be able to have the crown of the head down on the bolster. As you rest down, you might even reach the floor. You're welcome to bring the hands behind you, squeezing the shoulder blades. And any other variations that you might like to try in this forward fold position. The key thing here is that you're releasing through the back of the body, releasing the back of the neck, length between the vertebrae, bring the length at the hamstring muscles at the back of the thighs, a softness at your knee joints, so there's no pushing back of the knee joints, it's muscular engagement at the quadriceps, the front of the thighs that help to straighten the legs. Outside edges of your feet parallel with the edges of your mat. As you inhale, lift yourself halfway and step yourself back into down dog. Either come to stillness, drawing the hips back, taking the weight over the back of the body, or walking out the dog a little bit more if you feel there's still more mobilization needed. If you're walking, come to stillness. As you inhale, raise the right leg. And as you exhale, step it forwards, coming into a lunge. Any issues with the left knee, either lift up or place the knee on a cushion. If you have a bolster, you can place it up against the left thigh, resting the hands on the right knee. Grow tall through the spine, strong through your core, lumbar spine protected, lower back protected. Open the front of the left hip. Checking that you can see the front toes beyond the front knee. As you exhale, maybe sinking a little bit deeper into the bolster. If you're using a bolster, you can also use two blocks. So you prop one up against the other in a diagonal slant, so you can rest the thigh against the blocks as well. Or you can simply lunge without any props at all. As you inhale, lift yourself up, and we're coming into half splits, lengthening the right leg, pivoting onto the heel, bow the chest down towards the thigh, and this is where you might stay. If you want to work towards full splits, you might draw the right heel forwards, the left knee back. If you're using the bolster, this can be quite a nice support underneath you. Sit tall, again, core muscles engaged. There's no overextension at the lumbar spine. Spine as neutral as possible. And inhale to open the chest, exhale to relax down. If you're in half splits with the chest towards the thighs, breathe into the back of the rib cage, feeling the expansion, particularly around the back of the body. As you inhale, carefully lift yourself back into the original lunge. Put the hands either side of the front foot. If you have the props in the way, move them out to one side. We step back to downward facing dog. Walking out the dog again, or resting in stillness. And as you inhale, raise the left leg. Exhale, step it forwards. Lunge on the opposite side, resting the right knee down. Cushion is an option. Float the knee off the floor is also an option for a slightly stronger lunge. You might choose to have the bolster against the right thigh this time. Lining up the left ankle under the knee, resting the hands on the thigh to help lengthen through the spine. Inhale, feel 360-degree expansion through the rib cage, front, sides and back. And as you exhale, the core muscles engage around the lower abdomen, protecting your lumbar spine, protecting from too much lumbar extension here. Also, as you exhale, soften maybe that little bit deeper into the bolster. Next exhale, we come into your variation of splits. So it might be half splits. Chest coming down towards the thigh, lengthening the left leg, pivoting onto the heel. You might choose to work towards full splits, lengthening the left heel forwards, the right knee back. Nice option to have the bolster underneath and allow the spine to be tall. So your choice. If you're in the forward fold type position, focus at the back of your heart center, expanding into the back of the lungs, the back of the rib cage. If you're upright, 360-degree expansion, feeling open at the front of the chest in particular. So splits is also known as Hanumanasana. So Lord Hanuman, pose of Lord Hanuman, the Monkey King. It said he was able to step from India to Sri Lanka, I believe, in one big step. So inhaling carefully, bringing yourself back to your original lunge, taking your props out of the way. Frame your front foot, exhale, downward facing dog. You're welcome to pause here in stillness if you want to go for Vinyasa. Inhale to plank, exhale to lower down. The knees could be down here as you inhale, lift to a back bend, cobra, up dog or sphinx, and exhale, downward facing dog. As you inhale, raise the right leg, keeping the hips square. Exhale, step the right leg forwards, coming into warrior one. Left foot comes down roughly 45 degrees, drawing the left hip forwards, the right hip back. Inhale to lift and open the chest. Exhale, engage the lower abdominal muscles. Inhale, rise taller through the spine if you can, and as you exhale, bring the hands behind you. Interlink the hands, squeeze the palms, squeeze the shoulder blades, lift the chest, maybe the chin if it's okay for the neck, and as you exhale, round forwards into humble warrior. No judgment about how high your arms lift, or whether they lift at all. Just feel the strength at the back of the arms. You're welcome to stay here in the forward fold position. You might choose to lift part way and come into warrior three. Transfer the weight to the right leg, lift the left, press the heel away, roll the left hip down, back of the neck long, arms hovering above the back of the body. As you exhale, soften the front knee, step back into warrior one. Inhale, the arms lift, lengthen your right leg, and as you exhale, pyramid. Fold yourself over the front leg, drawing the right hip back, left hip forwards. And here you may, if you like, choose to hug around the thigh. And if that means bending the knee a little bit more to get the chest to the thigh, that's absolutely fine. If you feel a little bit unbalanced, bring one hand down to support you. Keeping the chin to the chest, the back of the neck long, breathing into the back of the rib cage. And either remaining here or lifting to standing splits. So hands either side of the foot, transfer the weight to the right leg, lengthen the right leg, lift the left leg behind. Again, no judgment about how high the left leg lifts. Just think about guiding your chest towards your thigh. If you want more of a balance challenge, bringing the right hand and maybe the left as well behind the calf, balancing on the one leg. As you exhale, carefully step yourself back to warrior one, lift up, exhale, downward facing dog. Either pausing here or Vinyasa. If you're Vinyasing, inhale to plank, exhale to lower, inhale to lift to your back bend, open the chest, exhale, downward facing dog. Everyone inhale, lift the left leg, hips square, exhale, step forwards, warrior one, on the opposite side. As you inhale, feel the chest expand, exhale, engage the core muscles, guide the right hip forwards, the left hip back. Inhale, lengthen once more, exhale, bring the hands behind you, interlink the hands maybe with the opposite grip, lift the chest, lift the chin as an option, exhale, humble warrior. Round and bow forwards, in front, beside the left knee. Feel the expansion at the back of the rib cage, feel the openness at the front of the shoulders. If you want to come into the balance, inhale, lift part way, transfer the weight to the left leg, step onto the left leg, float the right leg up. Warrior three, flex the right foot, roll the right hip down so the hips are square, back of the neck long, hover the arms from the back. Breathe. 360-degree expansion. As you exhale, carefully step yourself back to warrior one. Inhale, lift the arms up. Lengthening the left leg as you exhale, bow forwards into pyramid. Guiding the left hip back, the right hip forwards. With the option, if you wish, of hugging the chest towards the thigh. Bending the knee as much as you need to get a firm connection. Thigh at your heart center. and either remaining here, lengthening through the left hamstring, or lifting into standing splits. Transfer the weight to the left leg, a strong left leg. Use the quadricep muscles to keep the leg firm. If you want to go for the balance challenge, taking one or both hands around the calf muscle of the left leg. Chest towards thigh, right leg lifting. As you exhale, carefully step yourself back into warrior one. Inhale, lift the arms. Exhale, come down. Downward facing dog. You're welcome to do vinyasa. Stay in down dog or come down to child's pose for 5 breaths to regulate your breathing. So decide what's appropriate for you today. Or whichever variation you're going for, think about your breath. Allow your breath to be full. Focus around your ribcage area, your heart centre. If you're in child's pose, on an exhale, come up to down dog. On an inhale, raise the right leg, opening the hip. Just pointing the hip, the knee out to the side, bending the right knee, drawing the toes towards the left buttock and looking under the left arm towards the right toes. As you exhale, we're swinging the right leg forwards, lifting up to warrior two. As you inhale, lengthen the right leg. Exhale, come into triangle. Reach forwards with the right fingertips down. The left arm reaches up. The gaze could be up or down. Right knee could be bent or straight. Lifting up through the left arm, opening the left shoulder, breathing into the left side of the ribcage. You're welcome to stay here or come up for the balance half moon, Ardha Chandrasana. Bring the left hand to the hip, the right hand diagonally out in front of the right foot on a bolster or a block could be quite helpful to get a bit more length through the arm. The left leg lifts and hip opens, and the left arm lifts, chest opens, shoulder opens. If you have the bind in your practice, where you bend the left knee and take hold of the foot with the left hand, go ahead. From this position, we're going to come up to dancer. So you're welcome to bring the left foot down, lift yourself up. I'm going to step back so that I'm in the camera. Take the left foot behind you, or keep the left leg lifted at all times. Reach the right arm up, begin to take the left foot back, keeping the pelvis level, open the front of the left hip. The point where you can't lift the leg anymore, bring the torso down, reaching the right fingertips up, open through the chest. Inhale to lift, exhale to release. Coming down, and then we inhale, upward facing hands, and exhale, folding forwards. Inhale, lift yourself halfway and step yourself back into down dog. And we repeat on the left hand side. As you inhale, lift the left leg, opening the hip, bending the knee, pointing the knee up with the toes down, looking under the right arm for the left toes. As you exhale, step the left foot forwards, coming to warrior two. Inhale, lengthen the front leg. Exhale, triangle lead with the left fingertips coming down, right fingertips lifting up. Focus on opening the right side of the chest, opening the shoulder. And you're welcome to stay here, or taking it one step further into Ardha Chandrasana, half moon, right hand to hip, left hand comes forwards, diagonally forwards. Right leg lifts, right arm lifts, chest opens. Shine your chest forwards. Again, if you have Chandrasana in your practice, bend the right leg, take the right hand to the ankle. And transition, however you choose to get there, into dancer. So maybe the left leg stays down, the right leg stays up, and you take a hold. I'm going to come back so So you can see me a little bit better. Take a hold of the right ankle, left arm reaches up. Lift the right foot, open the front of the right hip. Shine the chest forwards. And when you can't lengthen back with the foot any further, bring the torso down. And continuing to think about breathing into this chest. Slight engagement of your core muscles, protect the lumbar spine. Inhale to lift. Exhale to come on out. Mountain pose. Inhale, upward facing hands. Exhale to fold. Inhale, lift halfway. And exhale, step yourself back to downward facing dog. Inhale to raise the right leg, opening the hip again. Knee bent, toes down. Looking under the left arm. As you exhale, we come to pigeon. The right knee comes to the right wrist. Right foot flexed remains flexed, sliding the left foot back. You might choose to have a block or cushion underneath the right hip so the pelvis is level. Inhale, lift the chest, come to a cobra spine and exhale, round. Cat-cow at the mid-back. As you inhale, shine the front of the chest forwards. As you exhale, open through the back. And repeat with your breath. And from this position, you have two options. You can either come down and guide the chest down, and again, you can have the bolster in front of you or the block if you don't want to come too far. If you want to lift and open the chest and open the left hip a little bit more, slide the left toes back a bit further, bending through the left knee and maybe coming into the bind again, left hand around the foot. If you have mermaid in your practice, it's a bit hit and miss if I come to this one, the toes slide into the crook of the elbow. The right arm lifts up and over and links to the left. I'm not going to stay there. I find that one a bit tweaky, but that is an option for you as well. Or you could lengthen the right arm up, keeping a hold of the foot or ankle, coming into a swan balance. So a few breaths in your chosen position. The most important thing is that the knee is comfortable, the ankle is comfortable, keeping a little bit of flexion, that the right ankle will protect the knee joint. So if you've lifted into a heart opening position, as you exhale, carefully release out. If you've come into a low position, as I have, as you inhale, lift yourself up. Carefully roll onto the right hip and bring the left leg round to the front for a head to knee. As you inhale, lift, and exhale, fold. And we pause here for a few breaths. Again, if you have bolsters handy, you could bring a bolster onto the thigh and rest the chest on. If you're quite flexible, it could be on the lower leg and the forehead comes down to the bolster. If you want a bit more support, you could have the bolster on its end and rest the forehead down. Or you could go without props. Allow gravity to ease you downwards into the stretch. And inhale, lift yourself up. Exhale, bending the arms down, the knee up. Heron, take your hands around the feet. If this is too much, come around the calf or the ankle. Lift the left heel up. Lift the chest. Turn slightly sideways on. So you're lengthening through the spine. Lengthen through the back of the neck. Back to the front. As you inhale, open wide, bringing the right arm out to the side, left leg out to the side, keep the chest open. Take your gaze to the right fingertips and maybe twist through the thoracic spine, the lumbar stays strong, core muscles engage. Inhale, come back into center, exhale, release. Cross the knees quite tightly. Take the hands in front of you. You might choose to come back into down dog by lifting the hips, stepping and jumping, or jumping yourself back, or just coming back to down dog, however you choose to get there. As you inhale, raise the left leg, opening the hip, bending the knee points up, toes point down, looking under the right arm. As you exhale, pigeon on the left side. Keeping the left foot flexed, knee comfortable, option to prop under the left hip, keeping the pelvis neutral to the floor. Inhale, lift the chest, and exhale, round the mid-back. Improving mobility at the thoracic spine. And the thoracic spine isn't necessarily, flexion extension isn't the main movement here. It's a bit more about twisting the thoracic spine. So it's good to open and close here in this way to promote optimum mobility. And then deciding, do you want to go down and lengthen forwards, breathing into the back of the body? Do you want to lift up, opening the chest, opening your heart center at the front of the body? Do you want to bend through the left leg, taking hold of the foot, lifting up to your swan, or bringing the foot in a little bit closer up to the crook of the elbow and coming into mermaid? Your choice. And when you're satisfied that the left knee is comfortable, there's some flexion at the left ankle, come back to your breathing, your focus around the heart center. If you're in a heart opening position, as I am, as you exhale, carefully release. If you've come to the low position, as you inhale, lift. Carefully sit onto the left hip and bring the right leg forwards for head to knee. Inhale, lift the arms. Exhale, fold forwards. Option to bring props in to make this more comfortable. You're always welcome to sit on a cushion or a block as well. Elevating the hips a little bit can make forward folds a little bit more comfortable. And similarly, you can have a bend at the right leg, the lengthened leg as well, if that's more comfortable. And you can cushion under the left knee if it feels like it's floating and the hip's not comfortable. As you inhale, lift the arms, lift the body. Exhale, the arms come down, the knee comes in. Take a hold around your right foot. Lift. Press the heel away. Lift the chest, lengthen the spine, sit tall. Inhale to open the chest and exhale to engage your core muscles as we did with both at the beginning. As you inhale, open into the hip opening position, maintaining the length through the spine, the openness through the chest, taking your gaze to the left fingertips and twisting a little bit deeper through the thoracic spine. Core muscles stay strong to protect your lumbar spine. Inhale, come into center. Bring the legs in front of you. And as you exhale, begin to roll yourself back until you're all the way down onto the mat. Hug the knees into the chest. Take a gentle rock from side to side. Placing the hands out beside you, either palms up or palms down. Toes could be up or down here. We come back down to the twist, bringing the knees over to the right. Might come sideways on so that you can see this a little bit better. Your gaze could be either towards the knees, straight up, or towards the opposite side. And if you want to deepen this stretch now, lengthen the left leg and maybe bind onto the big toe or the lower leg or the thigh. And maybe curling the right leg a little bit closer to the buttock and taking a hold with the left hand. So some different options. Coming towards cat chases its tail. Shoulder blades stay down so you can breathe into the ribcage, particularly the left side, shining your heart center upwards as you twist. If you're in the bind or lengthened position, as you exhale, bring the ankles back together. Inhale, come into center, and exhale, take it to the other side. Anchor the shoulder blades down. Find a comfortable position with your twist. Choose where your gaze point is, whether it's from up up to the ceiling, or whether you're one side or the other. And if you want to go a little bit deeper, lengthen the right leg, taking a bind as an option on the foot, the thigh, the calf, and maybe drawing the left foot up towards the buttock. And taking a hold of the foot perhaps, but pressing the right shoulder blade down. Breathing into the right side of the ribcage in particular. As you exhale, release. Inhale, come back into center. Take a gentle rock to reset the spine. And then going up to a supported bridge. And you might want blocks or bolster or anything similar. Place them under the knees. I am lacking space a little bit here, so I'm going to tuck myself in. As you inhale and lift, draw the bolster, or whatever it is you're using, under the sacrum area, so just below the waistband. And allow whatever prop you're using to take your body weight. Allow your pelvis to sink down. As you inhale, feel an openness at your heart center, and as you exhale, the rib cage, the pelvis sinks a little bit deeper. If you'd like to open the hip flexors a little bit more, you might lengthen the legs. I don't have space here to do that, so I'm going to stay in a bridge. If by lengthening the legs you feel some pinching in the lower back, come back into the bent knee position, into bridge. If you'd like to come up into an inversion, walk yourself into bridge first, and then one knee at a time lift up and lengthen. And the prop beneath you should make this feel quite comfortable, quite effortless. Allow the eyes to close. Observe the stillness in the body, the subtleness of the breath, the stillness of the mind. You're welcome to stay here for Shavasana if this is a position you'd like to explore. I'm also going to show you armchair Shavasana. You're welcome to come to whichever position you choose. If you're going to change positions, bring the knees into the chest and one foot at a time come back down to supported bridge. Lifting the hips, roll the bolster away or take the blocks out from underneath you, whatever you're using. And then either come down to Shavasana, maybe with the bolster under the knees. You're coming into armchair Shavasana. And the bolster is going to be propped up on a diagonal. So you might choose to have a bolster. I'm going to use a cushion or two. And then the bolster rests in a diagonal. You then sit into the bolster. So you're sitting on the floor, but the bolster's right up against the lower back. You're welcome to have a cushion to lift the hips a little bit if you prefer, and then lie yourself back. If it feels like the chin is too lifted, a cushion under the head to lengthen the back of the neck, and either resting the hands beside you, palms facing up, or on the belly, or one hand on the heart. Whichever position you've chosen, allow your physical body to release and let go. Taking a deep inhale, feeling the rib cage expand, and exhale, settle deeper into the surface beneath you. And repeat a couple more times. Feeling expansive and energized as you inhale, completely relax, let go as you exhale. And then allow the breath to become very subtle And rest your mind's eye at the centre of your heart, Anahata Chakra. And taking as much time as you need here. I'm going to leave you in Shavasana. When you come out gradually. But in the meantime, rest and relax. Namaste.